yeah, guys, it is time to go to the gym this morning. And if you notice a little bit of a dip in quality, well, guess which moron forgot to charge their camera last night? Yeah, me. And also, if you look outside, like the last 5 days, Denver's been slammed by 4 different snowstorms, which I mean, isn't bad because we really do need the moisture. It was like our driest summer on record, so we really do need it, but kind of creates a pain, especially when people here in Denver, all the new people here, don't know how to drive in snow. But that doesn't mean we can skip the gym. No matter what the weather is, even if a tsunami's coming in, you're not allowed to skip the gym. But also, guys, today's video is going to be a topic that it seems like there's always a new controversy in the fitness industry. So today's video will be going over that, but first, we got hit my second pole workout of the week, so let's get it. So we are finally at the, don't know if you can see at the gym now, Boston Fitness, and the snow is coming down like crazy now. So let's get the workout in really quick before the roads get any worse. I am now back from my workout. Hopefully you did enjoy me putting in the sets and reps for the workouts, and didn't do a commentary letting you know why I do things the way I do. But if you do want to see more of those videos, just let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know you want to see the commentary by saying commentary, and I'll make more of those videos. But back to the original point of the video. There is yet another controversy in the fitness industry, and if you're as involved as I am on like fitness YouTube, you know that there's a new controversy like every 2 weeks or so. Someone says something, someone has to call them out, someone has to grow by calling people out, stuff like that. And the question is, like Shakespeare once said, to RPE or not to RPE? Okay, before I get smart asses in the comment section, he did not say that. I just enjoy being a moron at times. But the bigger question, can it help you build muscle? And what's my take on the subject? Well, if you're running out of time or you just have a time crunch, here's my answer. It can be useful. And if you want to hear the full explanation, I'll be going over that in this video. So all you need to do is just drop me one of these, subscribe, more content coming soon. And guys, let's get into it. What's going on, guys? This is the first time you tune into one of my videos. My name is Eric of Saiyan Lifestyle, and I make 2 videos like this every single week dedicated to helping guys regain themselves through fitness and self-improvement tips. And today's video is going to be all about the new controversy to RPE or not to RPE. No, that's not a Shakespeare quote. Like I said, I'm just being a moron. So I watched both videos just so I know what each is saying and form my opinion from there. And in fact, both of them are correct. That's right, both are correct. And I think Jeff, you'll hear this later on in the video, he may have not listened to the whole video AthleanX made. So let's jump into the video that AthleanX made.
Things like RPE, which is a method of communicating effort in training, can become something that's going to hold you back from your own gains because you're hiding behind the terminology.
He made a video about why beginners aren't seeing muscle gain, and he listed all the reasons why, and then he came down to RPE and he called it really poor excuse, meaning guys say they're working out hard but they're not really working out hard. And his whole argument is that, and I totally agree with this, beginners don't know what it's like to really train hard. They don't have the experience we do of like really pushing ourselves, building up that work capacity, and really understanding what it's like to work out hard, so they can't really be an accurate judge of that. But also, most beginners really don't need to work out that hard, and because there's a brand new stimulus on their body, they're getting grown no matter what. And one of his biggest points was the fact that a beginner, if they say, oh man, I'm at RPE of 8 on the bench press and they're only at 4 reps, well, they can actually rep it out to like 8 or 9. Even though they feel like they're gonna die, they can actually rep it out more, so they're not the most accurate judge when it comes to RPE. Now, let's look at the Nippard side.
Those RPE is a quote, really poor excuse.
As you know, Jeff Nippard is another famous fitness YouTuber. I forget how many calories, how many subscribers he has right now, but he goes more into the science and in-depth version of like all these topics, and he mentions like, I think it's like 20 scientific studies every single video, which is actually really impressive, and I like to watch his videos because I learn quite a bit from them. But he made a response to AthleanX. He said that RPE is actually very useful, and he talked about how guys who are more experienced in the gym can use RPE to guide them when it comes to like their weightlifting. Like, he said that when you're doing like, let's say a barbell curl and rep 8 or like RPE of 8, it's like you lift about 2 reps in the tank, your form is starting to fail a little bit and you're really starting to feel it, and you stop short of failure. That's what RPE of 8 truly is. His argument is that RPE is a good standard to know where you are at with training, and also to help with progression. It gives you a standard to aim towards in your workouts, that you want to hit an RPE of 8 every single time you go in there, and also for like progression schemes too, and for like powerlifting too. You want to know what RPE you're at so that you don't overwork yourself, underwork yourself, but just stay right there and dial it back if you need to, or dial it up or whatever before a competition. That's basically what his main argument is. He references a ton of studies on this, and he's saying that RPE is in fact useful. And he did kind of attack AthleanX when he referenced that AthleanX said that some people do hide behind the science of it and use it as an excuse to not train hard. Like I said, I think Jeff Nippard took the entire video the wrong way, and I watched the entire AthleanX video, so I know exactly what he said. But basically, Jeff Nippard's view is that RPE is a good thing for more advanced trainees who have had more experience in the gym, so they know what it's like to really work hard, and they know what that feels like, so they can be a more accurate judge of how hard they are going. Now, here's a little kicker. I think Jeff actually stopped the video at this point.
Something that's going to hold you back from your own gains because you're hiding behind the terminology. Rate of perceived exertion, or as I like to say, really poor excuse.
Because after that, AthleanX says this.
If you're a beginner and you're utilizing RPE, you don't have enough experience to understand what it's supposed to feel like. You don't know what true max exertion is supposed to feel like. Now, I can appreciate the intent of RPE. I love it as a mechanism for advanced trainees to employ in their training, because it provides that subjective variation that we bring to the gym with us on a day in and day out basis. Maybe we can't hit 90% of our 1 rep max.
Pretty much, AthleanX confirms everything Jeff said. So I'm pretty sure Jeff may have watched like a part of that video to the part where Jeff said RPE isn't good anymore, stopped there and decided to make a video, rather than watching the entire video all the way through, which AthleanX pretty much agreed with him that it's better for advanced trainees who know what it's like to really work out hard and have a better kind of conception of what RPE is like for them. Now, here's my whole experience when it comes to RPE. Obviously, when I first started working out, I had no idea what RPE was, and I didn't even know like what percentages were either in the gym. I just went out and I worked out and I lifted, and that's really all I did. Because in high school, well, besides wanting to get muscles for the girls, I don't know why. Like, looking back, I don't know why I did that for some of them. But I also wanted to get better at sports. And I think the first time I heard about something like RPE related was when we did this thing called fart legs and track, which, if you don't really know what that is, I don't know what you would call them, but what happens is, so let's say there's a track right here. The curves, we are jogging, and then instead of the straights, we sprint about 80 to 85% of our all-out max. And I'm going, okay, 80 to 85%, that's basically going hard, but not my all-out max. So we can actually do this for like 6 laps around the track. And I think I may have gone a little bit under 80% because I had no idea what 80% was like. I knew what it was like when I was going all out with my sprint, but I didn't really know what 80% was because I hadn't had any training there. Then the weight room, when I was lifting, I would lift weights I thought that like I was like working out with, like I could easily complete. I remember one guy, he called me out and he said, "Yo, Eric, you can do so much more weight than that. And he basically said, oh, dude, quit being a pussy, like, you can do this. And I'm going, okay, you just went from 40 pounds to 60 pounds, I don't know if I can do this. And I mean, I did end up completing all those 8 reps, but the last 8 were like, not last 8, the last 2 were such a struggle. And after I finished that, like, I never experienced that, you know, that feeling after you complete a really hard set and you kind of like have that whoa feeling. That's what I got. I had really no idea what that feeling was. I kind of thought I was gonna die. And I'm going, okay, like walking out of the weight room, I'm going, okay, like I actually feel like I worked out. Like it feels good. And every guy or every person that's experienced in the gym knows exactly what that feeling is like. Then getting to college, obviously I switched majors halfway through my college life because I couldn't really do history anymore. I couldn't read that much. I'd rather work out or do some sports. So I switched over, started taking classes there, and I think that's where I began to hear more about RPE and what that was. And that's why I was getting more and more into fitness YouTube, learning how to squat, learning all this other stuff. Basically learning stuff that I was too busy playing video games in order to research and really understand this stuff. So I started to learn a little bit more about what RPE was, and my first real introduction was the Wendler 531, where your training max is actually 90% of your all-out max. I still use that today because it's honestly the most effective way for me to build up muscle and strength. But I started using that, so that's where I gained more of like what is RPE. Even a professor in my class, he didn't like RPE at all. He actually thought RPE was crap. And he said, why? When I asked him why, he said because most beginners don't know when they're at their capacity or like when they're at like level 8 or not because they don't have that experience. So flash forward a few years, I graduate college and I become a personal trainer. And I saw this happen too, is that most of my brand new clients, they had no idea what it was like to work out hard. So I'd be making them sweat a bit, making their heart rate, like we use this heart rate monitor called MyZone, which would be like right here. And it would measure how hard they were going. Well, I would watch them on the screen. I think they hit like maybe 60, 65, maybe 70% at the most. And they'd be like, oh my word, man, like you're killing me. I can't do this. I'm at a 10. I'm going, okay, you're breathing slightly hard, but that's totally natural. You're not there yet. And I had more experienced clients who like, if I can get them to 90, 95%, like they hated me for it. Like they knew what it was like to really train hard. They knew what it was like. They had a better concept of RPE. So I would put RPE of 8 or 9 in their program. They knew exactly how hard they're supposed to go. And when I told my newer clients how hard I wanted them to go, I could see that they didn't have the experience required. So my take is that just like AthleanX, this is not for beginners because, sorry if you're a beginner watching this video, you don't have the experience yet to accurately judge that stuff. Like when I was going through the weight room, all I knew is that I had to work out hard. I had to feel like I really did something. I had to walk out of the weight room not feeling like, oh man, like I feel good, let's go climb a mountain after this. No, I had to walk out feeling like accomplished, like I didn't leave too much out there, like there's not much I could do more after that. That was more my guide of how hard to go in the weight room. And as I began to be more and more experienced in the gym, that's when I began to learn more and more what RPE truly was and how hard I was supposed to be going. What I'm getting at here is that RPE can be a useful tool in your tool belt to help you grow muscle, but not if you're a beginner because you need more experience to learn what going hard is truly like. And for those of us who are more experienced, this can be an accurate tool to like help, well, one, keep you on track so that you know that next week if it feels a little bit lighter, maybe it's not an RPE of 8, maybe it's an RPE of 7, you can go up a little bit. But there's always gonna be things that do come into the picture. Let's say that you don't get the sleep you want, you don't drink as much water, don't drink as many calories, maybe you're stressed, maybe other lifestyle factors come into play. That 8 you had a week before may not be an 8 today, maybe it might be a 10, or you have to drop it down a bit. So it can help guide you to be like, okay, so I can lift this weight that I normally do, but let's try to lift a weight that does still challenge me because I'm not having like the best workout of my life right now. So for that, it can be an accurate tool to say, okay, am I training hard or do I need to bump it up just a little bit more? I think my favorite way to test this is to have myself like actually rep out an exercise like a barbell curl. I'll tell myself, hey, I'm at level 8. But if I can squeeze out 3 or 4 reps, I know I'm not at a level 8. I have to go about 5, 10 pounds. and if I can't get 2 more reps, I need to go down a little bit. So it can be an accurate tool for advanced workers and power lifters, because like I said, power lifters, we need to know like what percentage we're at and how hard we're going, because we got to taper down before a meet, but then we also have to go up so that we can get stronger. And for those of you who just like want to go into the gym and work out hard and feel like you've accomplished something, go for it. If those of you who are watching this video who are more advanced want to know how to incorporate RPE into your current workouts, ask yourself this simple question after like you're done with an exercise. Do I have a little bit more I could do? Like, could I squeeze out a few more reps, like a couple more reps? You shouldn't be able to squeeze out more than 3 reps. If you can squeeze out more than that, then you need to go a little bit harder, do an extra set. But if you feel like you have accomplished something and you can't squeeze out too much more and you're about at your limits, then it's okay to stop, because going to complete failure is actually really hard on your central nervous system. So that's a little tool you can ask yourself, hey, do I think I could do a little bit more, or do I just have a little bit more? So that is a little simple tool that you can use. Always ask yourself that, hey, do I have a lot more in me that I'm giving, or do I still have a little bit more but I accomplished something? Ask yourself that at the end of the workout. Now guys, that is my video for today. So if you did enjoy it, once again, give me what? These right here, give me a like so YouTube knows to promote my video. And also guys, make sure you do what Drake is saying right here. And if you do, thank you bro. Also guys, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, Saiyans, let's get it.
Is to go even further beyond!